My name is Evelyn Simmel, and I'll be taking you through my speculative design process for crossing the urban to rural transect in the Little River watershed. The naturalization of the Little River and the development of an integrated blueway trail system provides the opportunity to invigorate the cultural connections between the residents of Fort Wayne downtown, peri-urban, and rural areas, and increase the health of the Little River. In a county filled with pride for its hydrologic systems due to the convergence of the three rivers and its city center, the Little River is the thread that connects to the regional Wabash River corridor. The negative human impact on the health of the Little River is especially evident in the segment reaching from Eagle Marsh Nature Preserve to Arrowhead Prairie. Planning for broader cross-state trail systems requires a bottoms-up approach to generate positive environmental impact and a sense of community ownership. In an area where food production and agricultural lands are pervasive and a keystone of economic livelihoods, it's important to be aware of how these great scales of Midwestern land use are affecting their surrounding ecosystems, gearing a focus of this project to food, water, and wilderness. Having opportunities for education, play, and connection between community members of all ages in the site is important for creating an engagement with the landscape as a narrative. This journey is all about the progression from wilderness to rigidly controlled nature by way of water, following along the vital indicator of ecosystem health, tying the ubiquitous and individualized relationship with food back to the earth it grows from, all the while exposing the detriments and possibilities of agriculture as an ecosystem service. Designing the site began with an investigation and opportunity specifically in understanding the existing natural systems on the site and adapting functions to put nature first. Being aware of necessary hydrologic, agronomic, and vegetation buffer zones, I then explored different ways to introduce form that mimicked these natural land patterns and an organic weave that juxtaposed the rigid geometry of the agricultural quilt seen from above. Beginning on the east end of the site with Eagle Marsh Nature Preserve, the plan introduces a nature center from which visitors can cross a land bridge over the highway to enter the site. Passing by a nature-immersed Montessori school serving children 8 months to 12 years old, visitors follow the winding 2-mile-long path through woodlands, lowland and upland prairies, and wetland naturalizations, all providing a contiguous habitat connected to Eagle Marsh and a natural buffer between agriculture and the Little River and connected waterways. Along the way, there are opportunities to stop at various nodes for observing and connecting with wildlife, with additional opportunity to explore the renaturalized wooded areas or slide a kayak into the river for a gentle cruise. While the northern half of the site remains as private agricultural land, 1/3 is transitioned into an integrated permaculture system working with natural amenities to support the growth of a vast variety of species. To enhance fertility and natural maintenance, methods like livestock integration, green manure, crop rotation, predator habitat, and botanical species diversity are introduced. A solar array to the east allows for a renewable source of energy production for the site. The existing site, at almost 450 acres, is currently a large plat of corn and soybeans. In aerial viewing of the site, even without research of historical systems, you can see where water is directing itself and furrowing through the site. Part of these are historic wetlands, but a majority of the water has been drained to allow for production agriculture and channelized for ease of maintenance and drainage. One major concern was how to best allow for the natural flow of water through the site as it moves from the northeast to the southwest corner. By making interventions in grading and vegetation, the water is broken out of the central drainage channel and converted to a series of meandering streams with restored wetlands at integral intersections. The Little River itself would take intervention at great length to truly restore, but by adding vegetated buffers and naturalizing the streams that feed it, the health of the river can begin to improve. While these natural and built features may provide much good for the environment, the introduction of people is necessary to spread an understanding of the connectedness of these systems and encourage a deeper thought in their own lives. Meandering through the naturalized areas, the trail twists and turns to take advantage of views to the north and south. Beginning immersed in established wilderness, the trail itself begins winding and organic, transitioning to long stretches of trail as production agriculture comes into view. Following a transition through the woods, visitors can see the farmstead and integrated permaculture production, themselves passing through vegetation with edible flowers, leaves, nuts, and berries, with the trail itself introducing a variety of materials and a winding end. Every half mile, there is an attraction to greet guests as well, including the crossing of the land bridge, the river deck to fish, kayak, or enjoy the view, a forage labyrinth with loops of edible plantings, an observation station to place materials under magnifying tables, and more, a common table with views to the farmstead connecting the food people eat with the food production, and the entry dock providing parking, signage, and capping the kayak loop. Lastly, the school on the east side presents a unique opportunity for children to be immersed in this vibrant environment during the peak of their developing years. Built on the Montessori education model of collaboration, independence, and hands-on learning, the landscape also embraces student-driven freedom of choice within limits, with opportunities to practice life skills, math, science, language, and sensorial skills. Indeed, the entry to the school is a winding adventure in itself, with the school hidden from the highway and opening up from the woods. The grounds themselves include a greenhouse and converted transition area for multi-season use, while the primary, secondary, and tertiary circulation patterns, all serving different scales of humans, allow for exploration and a close-up look at nature for little learners. Gathering nooks are important for meeting and working stations, while a more traditional playground area and sports field allow for big energy breaks. While the amphitheater points towards the agricultural fields and the sunset, the school has its own growing center and insectary at the rear, embracing the values of food and bringing it to students as they learn about the cycles and transitions of growth and explore their own tastes. Trails connect from the permeable parking lot to the Little River Trail to encourage access and use by the community. Although complex in implementation, this plan builds on the simple idea of connecting people, food, and environment, both physically and in an understanding of the systems of each of their parts. Not only a way to engage people in recreation along the Little River and between the two restoration areas that are already thriving, this is a step forward for Fort Wayne's goal of turning their eyes back to their waterways and leaving an ecological footprint that is smaller than the one before.